Hey, what's going on? Let's do some 6-2 notes, shall we? So kind of a bit of an introduction here to kind of a review of your algebra skills. Let's solve this. It says solve y equals 2x plus 5 when x equals a negative 4. So if you remember, this is just called substitution. Okay, you can't really do anything unless you take one of the variables out. Well, this x equals negative 4 is going to go in for x right here. So we're going to substitute. Okay, so y is now going to equal a 2 times a negative 4. I like to use brackets when I substitute. You will too when you do this. Do a little multiplication here. 2 times a negative 4 is a negative 8. Negative 8 plus 5, I believe, is a negative 3. Okay, here we go. Y is going to equal a negative 3. Okay, all done. There we go. Substitution. What you're doing in lesson 6.2 is absolutely no different than what I just did right there. And as I have a little saying here to kind of help you, it says if y equals stuff, then you put the stuff in for y. Now that could go for any variable, and that stuff could be anything. In this case, x equaled a number, so I put that number in for x. You can do the same thing when a variable equals more than a number. So if it equals any type of stuff, any type of group, you can substitute that group or that stuff in for that variable. So watch and learn. This is problem number 1 from page 372. It says we're actually going to solve for x and y. So this is kind of a system, okay? So we're solving systems. So again, the whole goal is to figure out what x and y equal. Okay, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? So it says y equals 3x, and then x plus y equals a negative 32. Okay, substitute. You want to look for the lone variable. Y is all by itself. Down here, x and y are together on the same side. That's not good. This is. Y equals stuff. So the stuff goes in for y. Now, the rewrite is probably the most important part. So instead of a y, I'm now going to put a 3x in for y. The brackets aren't necessary in this case, but I still like to use them. Okay, still equals a negative 32. Okay, that is the hardest move. It's not really the hardest move, it's just new, so everybody kind of panics and they're not sure what to do. Y equals stuff, stuff goes in for y. It's that simple. Please apply that simple thinking to this complicated looking problem. Okay, x plus 3x combined is going to be a 4x. 4x equals a negative 32. Divide both sides by 4. Let's see what Mr. Calculator has to say there. I think it's negative 8, but I just want to double check to make sure. Negative 32 divided by 4. Boom, there we go, negative 8. So x equals a negative 8. You're halfway done. Okay, you got the x value. Now how in the world do you find the y value? You do the same thing we did right up here. Do the same thing that you did right up here. If x equals negative 8, go ahead, I'm going to pick the top equation. I'm going to go y equals 3x. Okay, pick the original equations. I'm going to put the negative 8 right in there. So I'm going to substitute again. So it's kind of a double combo. You find one of the variables, then you use that variable to find the other one. Kind of like a domino effect. Here we go. So y is going to equal 3 times a negative 8. Y is going to equal a negative 24. Negative 24. There you go. I'm done. Okay. Substitution. If y equals stuff, stuff goes in for y. You do the algebra, you find one of the variables, you plug that variable back in, you plug the number that variable equals, plug it back in, you find the other one, they come in pairs. Okay, we're trying to find x and y. I can't tell you how many people stop at this and then they don't solve it for the other variable. So one thing I do is right away I go x and y equals blank and blank. To remind myself I got to find both. Okay, so this is kind of the same one, but these ones look a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and knock these ones out the park right here. Again, I'm trying to find x and y, blank, blank, okay? Now this one's kind of weird. So it's kind of the same idea as this one, but it looks a little bit different. Notice both of them have y all by itself. This one's actually probably one of the easier ones. It looks complicated, but it's super easy. If y equals stuff and then y equals other stuff, then those two things are actually equal, okay? Y equals this, y equals that, and setting this and that equal to each other. So it's literally this move. Watch this. 2x plus 7 equals x minus 1. Technically, that's substitution. Okay. Y equals stuff, the stuffs equal each other. Okay. So this is just algebra, friends. I'm going to subtract x from this side, subtract x from this side. 2x minus a single x is another single x. Plus 7 equals negative 1 is left over, it looks like. Oh, you cancel, I better go away or cross you out right there. Minus 7, x equals a negative 8. Negative 8 seems to be a popular x value so far. Okay, so we have x equals negative 8. We're done. No! We got to find y. These ones are real easy. You got two equations to choose from. I want to pick the bottom one. Y equals x minus 1. Negative 8, you're going in right there. Y is going to equal a negative 8 minus 1. Negative 8 minus 1. Y is going to be a negative 9. Done. There we go. So those ones are a little bit different, but when they both have the same variable alone, then these two pieces will equal each other. So if y equals this and y equals that, then this and that are equal to each other. Okay? I'll set up the next one, then I'll let you figure it out. So it's basically the same setup. Okay? Again, if you ever see this, you're going to know that this dude equals this dude. So the setup would be this. 3x plus 9 has to equal negative 2x plus 3. Okay, there's the setup. Probably going to find x first. You're not probably, you will. Find x first, plug x back into either equation, then find y. Don't forget, friends, you need to find x and y, the coordinate point, the solution where the two lines crisscross. Okay, next example is coming in hot.